Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Gold Rush. We are digging industriously. I have got this bucket up to 77%, or 78% now, and it's 3:15 in the afternoon. Now, we've only got $1,500 left, and we need to have $5.5 grand by midnight. Now, our industrious workers have managed to get another 4.2 ounces of gold so far. So I'm kind of hoping that the workers will be able to cover most of the costs of the loan. We are just going to have to race off to town in a little while and smelt the gold that they've earned and then sell it at the bank. I mean, that's fine. We can go and do that. And we can also, when we go and do that, we'll then nip out to Two Rivers. Not Two Rivers. That's from the Wheel of Time. That's not from here. We will nip out to River Town, and when we get there, we will get... what was it that I wanted to get? There was something from River Town that I needed to get. Right, 99. And... oh, no, that's... okay, you know what? We're just going to stop that one at 99%. That's fine. It's almost 100%. It's pretty much. There's nothing in it to worry about, so we'll just stop that one at that. There was something in... oh, it was the Magnetite trailer. I need to get the Magnetite trailer from Rivertown, and I may also get a couple of extra bits, but I'm not actually sure at the moment. I haven't quite decided on that one. It's quite frankly, I don't think it's that important. What we want to get is we want to get this one going, and we're going to want to get some cash. And then once we've got enough cash, we can move the tier 3 stuff from Rivertown over to here so that we can then reassemble it, and hopefully it's going to... oh, I know what I'll need to bring. I'll need to bring all of the ropes that I've got for moving the tier 3 stuff around, and the big excavator. We'll need all of that back over here. The reason we're doing this is because it would appear that there is a slight bug with the tier 3 stuff when you... with the new update. Because the tier 3 stuff was sort of left there already with the wheel loader, we're getting we're getting pretty much nothing coming through on the mosses and everything else, and we kind of want to get a little bit of cash. We want to be able to get the gold and all the rest of it, and it's just not coming through. Now, some people have suggested that it might just be the wheel loader itself. Others are saying that it's not the wheel loader, it's actually the tier 3 wash plant, and it's because there's some conflict between how the tier 3 wash plant was set up and is now set up. And the main thing is there was some changes to the positioning of the tier 3 stuff. If you remember, the framework, I think I pointed it out yesterday, it might have been the day before. The framework has been moved, and because the framework has been moved, it's going to have affected anything that was still in position. And I think that's like the biggest problem with it, is the fact that it's because the framework's been moved, that's what has caused this slight issue. I mean, it's not a major headache. It is a bit of a nuisance. We got to move it, and it is going to cost us like $6 grand to actually be able to move it. I mean, of course, the other option, I think you can reset the items that are there, or I mean, even if you can't reset them, can you like pick them up again? Could we go and like get the excavator and just pick them up and then snap them back in again? I mean, maybe that would work. But now that we're over here, we've got the tier 2 wash plants over here. I figured that we might as well try and move it over here, and we'll try it from this side, because we're not going to be able to afford that rock truck and the other bits and pieces for the tier 3 anytime. Well, I say soon. I'm hoping that in the next like 4 or 5 episodes we'll be able to at least earn enough money to get some of it, even if we can't get all of it. So if we can do that, we'll kind of be on our way to getting some nice things, some nice new toys. Right, let me just stop there a moment. That's on 70% on the bucket, so we don't have enough to fill that one up yet. We will have soon, I'm hoping. I've gotten everything running over here. This is all our gold. That one over there seems more full than the rest. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know what's special about that one compared to these. You know, I've got no idea. Maybe it kind of just moves it round once it's when it's going. I don't know. So, yeah, we've got... this is where we were using the wheel loader, and this kind of didn't work out very well. We're going to we're going to try and do something a little bit different than that. I mean, we could run the wheel loader down here, but it might be better if we could try to run it in a little bit more level. So we will have a play around with that and see what we can do with it. And maybe we could get the bulldozer over here and use that one to help try and level some things out. I'm also wondering about trying to stuff the wash plant down in there. There'd be a lot of dirt around it that we could use. But anyway, that's all kind of besides the point. I just want to fill up this one last bucket, and then I'm going to head into town. We're going to have to do some of this by night, and I don't want to do too much by night if I can help it, but we are definitely going to be doing some of it by night. Well, there's hardly anything in that bucket. I suppose it doesn't really matter. And tip that in there. So, yeah, the first thing that we'll do, as soon as we get into town, we will smelt the gold that we've got, and then we head over to Rivertown, and while we're there, we're going to pick up the Magnetite trailer, and also the buckets of gold that we had there. There were some buckets that had a bit of gold in, some gold sludge. We're going to dump those in the back of the pickup, and we're going to bring those back with us as well, and hopefully we'll be able to extract a little bit more gold from those as well. And you know, with the gold that we're going to get from this little session that we're doing here, I think that we could end up making a reasonable amount of money. And if we've got enough, we can then move the tier 3 stuff and bring it back over here. And then once we've moved the tier 3 stuff and we've brought it back here, we're then in a position that we can start, well, properly saving up for the next one. Ooh, run, run, run. We're just about out. I've filled up. There we go. Right. Let's take that one over here. You know, I might as well just put another bucket in and empty out the scoop that I've got. I won't worry about doing any more for a moment. Ooh, let's grab a bucket. There. And bring you over here. So I need to decide the bucket chain and the conveyor and everything else. That's going to cost us, you know, I can't actually remember. I think that is going to cost us, it was just under 300,000 to get the bucket chain and the, what do you call it? Bucket chain. There we go. I just wanted to turn that one off. Right. Yeah, you've got the bucket chain and the dump police and the rock truck and all of it. The whole lot together ends up costing, I think, in the region of $300,000. Now, we've got the other stuff. We've got the rest of the wash plant and everything. That's all kind of ready to go. I'm going to turn that one off, so we're going to lose our light for a bit. That's okay. That is a huge amount of money. There's $300,000 on top of what we've already got. And then that will allow us to tip it here. Now, I don't think this one has actually moved in position. I think the position of that framework is exactly the same as it was when we were here last. It's the framework over in the not the Two Rivers, the framework over in the old Rivertown. I cannot get that one right, can I? Framework in Rivertown. That is the one that is different. That's the one that's changed, and is also the one that we're kind of gotten stuck on. So I don't know whether it's that one alone that's changed, or whether they've all changed and we just haven't sort of it's not affected anybody else. I mean, I don't really know because I haven't looked at it that much. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the right button for this. There we go. That's what I want. It'll be interesting to find out if the other people who've been affected by this, the same as me, were at Rivertown, or if they were somewhere else. Because if they were somewhere else, then it's kind of a universal problem. If they weren't somewhere else, then it's just Rivertown. And I'm guessing it's just like certain configurations it's happened to. So there's not really a huge amount that we can do about it. Anyway, I will see you in town in a minute, and we can smelt the 5-something ounces of gold that we've got. Sell that at the bank, and then we've got to get out to Rivertown and pick up the few items that we want out there. 5.3 ounces of gold, or just under. Let me bring that up through the wall. 5.29 ounces of gold. That's not too bad. It's going to cost us $53 to do that. Melt the gold. So that's a little bit more than we had last time. I mean, what's that say? Oh, that says 4.8 on that one. And already the workers are busy earning us yet more gold. I mean, they are very industrious, those workers. 24/7 they work. So, you mean we can't really complain too much about them. Does anybody know what the highest percentage you can get on a worker. Now, we've got a couple of workers at 60%, I think, this time. We did have a couple of workers at 60% at least, and we've at least got a couple at 50%. What is the highest percentage that anybody has seen for a worker? Has anybody found like an 80 or 90% worker? I'd really like to know that, because it'd be kind of interesting to see just how much you can get. Right, 1,213. That's actually fairly good. So we get $5,836 for that. Right, cancel. That is only going... That will do the loan payment, but we're not going to have a lot left over. There is... By the time we get to midnight and we make that loan payment, there is not going to be very much of that money left. There's another 1,000 left after that. So we can't buy anything yet. We got to get the gold that we have now dug up. We've got to get that smelted. So I'm also going to bring back those buckets, like I said, from Rivertown, and that's a little bit extra gold that we can then smelt. And I'll bring back the miners' grills, the miners' mosses, and all of that kind of stuff, so that we can get the tier 3 stuff back this way as soon as possible. Well, I'll try and get some of that stuff back here. We'll see how much I can get on board. I made it into Rivertown, and I'm just going to start loading up the bits that we need, which is definitely down here with the buckets and the gold and stuff. And then if I can get it on board as well, like the miners' grills and things like that, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all of those into the truck, so we'll see. I got buckets of stuff, and I've got the Magnetite trailer, and I've also got the mosses and the grills for the wash plant, and 4 medium ropes that I had back here. So I've got all of that, so we can at least get the tier 3 stuff set up when we've got the money to move it to the Old Arnold claim. But at the moment, we don't have the money to move it. So I'm just taking this stuff back just in case, and then we can get to cleaning the gold that we've got, and we're going to have to spend a bit more time earning some more gold. I might change the excavator. Actually, no. I'm starting to think that maybe the bulldozer would be a really good addition to our little fleet that we have at the moment, and we could sort of use that one to do a little bit of work with. I'm not quite sure. Give me your thoughts and opinions about whether you think I should get the bulldozer before I start thinking about investing in the elevator and the rock truck and all of that lot, because quite frankly the rock truck and all the rest of it it's a fortune. It's a long way off. We can't get a loan at the moment. We don't have, so as we're not able to get a loan and we're nowhere near $300,000, it's going to be a long time before we're able to get the rest of the tier 3 stuff set up. So maybe having the bulldozer might help. We could like just at least use it for like leveling out a road, and make it a little bit more smooth for the wheel loader, and then we could load the tier 3 wash plant faster once we're able to get that back and get it set up again. I don't know, give me your thoughts on that one down in the comment section, and I will meet you back at the Old Arnold claim in the morning. As I'm going through town and I've got over an ounce of gold, I think it's probably a good idea if I just swing by the blacksmith on my way through and smelt a little bit more. So I'm just going to grab that one there. So 1.1 ounces, melt that gold, and I'm going to take that over to the bank and sell it. Actually, I'm just going to leave that there and tell them about it at the bank, and then they can come and buy it from me. So that will, yeah, that should give us another $1,000, which will last us a little bit longer. We're about to lose $5.5 grand anyway. So in the morning, I'm hoping I'll have at least $1,200 still. Right, we don't have a huge amount of light. It is 2 a.m., but sometimes in order to get very wealthy, you have got to work extra hard for extra long hours. So we're going to keep on working. We're going to push on through the night with this one. And let me start that pump up there. So I need a hose. Actually, the hose pipe there can sort of stay where it is, and I think there was another hose pipe that I had up here somewhere. It was on this one over here, wasn't it? Yes, there is one there, and if I come around this side, I can unhitch both of those. There you go, let's get that one. And start rolling this one up, and we can take this one over with us down to, down over there, and we can use this one, and then we can leave the one on the wash plant. It'll just save us moving it around in a minute, in a little while, when we've got to use the wash plant again. So if we grab this one, bring it over here, and fasten it onto the pump down the bottom here, like this, I can go onto the other side of that one. And first of all, we need to run this onto the magnetite separator like that. So that one's running there. Then I need another generator, don't I? If I'm going to be able to see, I need another generator. That's not good. It would be a lot better if you could have like a double output. I don't think I've got a second generator. I think I've only got the one. I left the other one over at Rivertown. Definitely didn't have another one over here. I don't think I got one in the tent either. No. We can just take a quick look at the workers and see who we've got waiting. 31, 34, 36, 40, 62. Okay, we're going to employ that guy. 62%. We'll have him. And what are we going to put him on? So we got the front end loader at 54%. 53 for the shaker. Small excavator. 64 there on the big excavator. So I want to put... I don't know which one's better. I think that we'll put this guy on nothing for the moment, and we'll put the new guy on the one in Rivertown, the shaker. There we go. So we can assign that guy on there. And then we've got the guy at 40% on the small excavator, so let's take him off of there. We'll put him on a hog pan pump. And then this guy at 50%, he can go on the small excavator. I don't think there's anything left at Rivertown. I think we've got everything else assigned. Yeah, that's it on there. So the Old Arnold parcel, hog pan, no pump, small excavator. So we can assign him onto there. Hopefully that will work reasonably well. Shut down. The money's ticking down, but the gold is coming through at a reasonable rate. Well, we've got another lead there, but we don't have another generator, and we don't have a way to split the leads out, unfortunately. So what I'm thinking is sleep until dawn, because then I will at least be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, I don't think the money dropped or the gold went up while we slept until dawn. That's alright, we can live with that. Now, let me get the cable. No. Put you down. This isn't good. Let me grab that one, and if I bring it round like that, I think. No, that's not going to work. Let me take that one off a minute and put it over here. I'll coil that cable up a bit. That cable is all over the place. I can keep coiling it a little bit more. There we go. Right. Drop that one there a second, and then grab this light and put it there. It's kind of facing in the right direction. That'll do for now. We're not going to worry about it too much. Let's coil this cable up quite a lot, because there is lots of this. This cable is miles and miles of this thing is out everywhere. So there we go. That's a bit better. And I can plug it into there, and I'm not going to turn that one on yet. I want 2 empty buckets to go underneath it. That one there. Let's put you under there. And grab another one and put you under there. Right. So then I can start getting these buckets. We've got tiny little bits in some of them. There's just not very much in these buckets at all. Right, that one's empty, so you can go over there. Then come over to this side and start. Right, what do we got? That's already finished processing that pay dirt, so let me go and get the next bucket, which is that one. And I'm going to put that one in as well. Finished processing the pay dirt. We didn't have very much in those 2 buckets. There was, we got 1% and we got 9%. And there was another bucket over here that didn't have very much in at all. Let's put that one in. There's those over there. So we've got 7 and 9. Right, the rest of these are pretty full. So we'll just start running these all through with a little bit more. I think we're going to need to empty some of these buckets out. We've got the gold on one side. Actually, is that going to be too full? Let me drop that down and stop. 99% on the gold. I got a bit nervous then. I thought for a moment it was going to fill right up and we were going to waste the stuff. We're going to have to be a little bit more careful. I think we're going to have to be a little bit more switched on about this. So let's bring this one over here. And we'll put that down, and then we can start it now that we've actually tipped the stuff in. And then we can sit and we can watch it. We just let this stuff run through, and once that's done processing, this does look like it's all gold. And we got quite a bit in there as well. That's 70%. 80. We got 16% into the magnetite at the moment. Let's leave that bucket there. Okay, that one looks like it's almost finished, so I'll grab the next bucket, bring it over so that it's ready. And we can dump it in. They're still not doing anything. Let me stop it a moment. I think that's maybe just a slight bug where it doesn't actually say that the bucket is finished until you switch the machine off. I can't imagine that there'd be any other reason that it would do that. So let's start that one up and watch those numbers go up. We've got a little bit of magnetite in there now. That's looking good. Yeah, so it's per bucket that you get. You get about 10% on a bucket, don't you? 10% of magnetite on a bucket. And so a full bucket fills the trailer up by 10%. And that gives you 1,000. So yeah, it is $100 per bucket, wasn't it? So let me 89. Is that going to go to 90? No, I don't think it is. That might have been a smaller one. So let's stop that one there, and it's finished processing. We can drop the gold bucket down and get that one under there. You can tip out into there. Put the empty bucket and start. Right. That's running in a little bit more magnetite. So we've got 5 buckets left to process. And then we can start putting them through the wave table and making a fortune. I'm going to bring a couple of these buckets over just to speed this process up a little bit. And it's the wave table that's even better. I mean, this is a nice one. I like how it's working at the moment. I like getting all of the magnetite and the gold coming through. It looks nice. It's great. It gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling. You kind of get the impression that all of your work is finally now paying off. But at the same time, you kind of this is nice, but it's the wave table. The wave table, let's be honest, is the one that you want to do, because that is where you get the actual gold. You then start seeing the actual amount of gold that you've got ticking upwards, and that is the feel-good factor. When you're playing this game, that is the real feel-good factor, is seeing your actual gold going up, and that is just fantastic. I mean, it's going to be really good for us. We've got these workers going, and they're costing us money, but they can barely pay. They do pay for themselves, and you do get a bit extra, but we kind of need this now. We desperately need this now to be able to make the loan repayments for the next few days. If we can cover the next few days, that's going to give us a bit more of a window to be able to get the another good session going for the gold, and that is going to actually have a decent impact. Right, that's the most full, that one there. I'm very interested to see what we're going to get out of this bucket here. It seems like it's overflowing compared to the others. So I'm going to be ready to switch that one off. If it gets like 95%, I am switching it off. It seems, I don't know why, it looked like it had a lot more in than any of the others. It might have just been a slight visual bug, because it doesn't look like the numbers have gone up any higher. That's gone up to 90%. And it stopped. Nope. Nothing extra on that one. Okay. So let's stop that and put that gold over there. And we take the empty bucket, put it underneath. 3 to go. 3 to go. That one's on 56%, the magnetite bucket. So I don't think that we're going to get even a bucket full of magnetite. So we're not going to get $1,000 for the magnetite. But, again, it's alright. We've got over 600. You get $10 for every percentage that goes into the bucket. So all we got to do is just keep an eye on that percentage, and that will tell us exactly how much we have. $640. That's enough to keep us going for nearly half a day on our workers' wages. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's a pretty sweet deal. Stop that one. Bring that one over and swap them over. You in there. And you up there. The one thing I don't like is the way that it allows you to just waste it without any kind of warning whatsoever. I could not change the bucket over, let that get to 100%, and then just keep the magnetite separator running, pouring in stuff into the top, and the gold would just vanish into thin air, just disappear into oblivion. And you get a warning come up for different things, like when you're wasting pay dirt into that one over there. But you don't get any kind of warning to tell you that the magnetite separator is now just washing your gold away. It's just flowing off down into the streams. It's not even flowing back into your claim. It's just gone. It's just completely vanished. Never to be seen again. And 75, is that going to go up any more? I don't think it is. I think that's it. So let's stop that one. Yep. And put that one over there. So we've got a lot of like part buckets here. We haven't got very many like at full 90%, but I think that's in part because of the buckets I brought over from the other claim. Dump that one there and start you up. This is the last one. What's this? Are we going to get to full $700 worth of Magnetite? I think we might with this one. We just might. 70%. And the other one's on, yeah, 71. So we got $710, $20. This is a nice little bit. We can run that back in. When we take the gold ore all back into town, we can take the Magnetite trailer with us and empty that one out. Just get that little bit extra gold going. The extra bit of cash, I should say. 88. Is that going to reach 90% or is that going to stop now? Oh, it is still going. It's a problem. You're never quite sure when the thing is actually emptied out. I don't even know how this thing works. I mean, what is it? Has it just got like a magnet working inside it or what? I genuinely have no clue. Right, stop that one there. Take your gold out and drop that down there. So I need to unplug you. Bring you round onto the wavetable over here. And then I need to unplug you and bring you round to this side on the wavetable. We need to turn the water on that one. So that fills up like that. And then we need to switch that one on there. This time you don't have to worry about buckets or anything like that. You just literally chuck the stuff in and reap the benefits. So here we go. We're on 1.94 ounces of gold. In with the first bucket, and straight away it's leapt up. That's brilliant, because I don't know which ones of these came from the other claim and which ones are from here. But that had well over, it's like 3-4 ounces, well, a good 3 ounces in that one. 3.5, 4.5. Okay, that was pretty good. We had a lot of gold in that bucket. I think that was probably the one that came from the other claim, from the Miner's Mosses, because that one there isn't doing quite so well. I don't even know if it's... Oh, yeah, it has finished processing now, so we can chuck the next one in. And I don't think this is going to do as well either. You know what? I'm going to take these buckets and chuck them over that side so that they're available to use. Someone wants to work for you. I don't want them to come and work for me at the moment. Let's chuck those over there, and we can put in the next bucket of soil. Oh, that's gone up to over 5 ounces. We've only got $800 left, mind, so we are starting to run out of cash. We absolutely have to make sure we get back into town while we've still got a reasonable amount left. I mean, that's kind of the good thing about this Magnetite that we've got. We don't even need to unload the pickup. I've got some stuff still in the back of the pickup. I don't even need to worry about that. I can just go tearing off from here. And is that last one finished processing? No, it's not. There's still loads of gold ticking up. There we go. Now it's done processing. So let's put that one in. It washes it out from the top. Now, I've been told that I really should watch Gold Rush. Unfortunately, I don't really have time to do that. But they said that using this one in the actual series, I think it was the Magnetite separator was kind of like a prototype that hadn't really been used before. And it wasn't the easiest one. But apparently the wavetable was really difficult to use. And they did struggle with it. Or this is what a couple of people were saying. I don't know if it was like all the wavetables or if it was just one wavetable that was difficult to use or what. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this thing's a doddle. It works really easily and I've got no complaints with it. So I'm guessing that maybe in the series there was something a little bit more to it than what we can see right here. Well, we've got over 10 ounces of gold. That's going to be well over $12,000. Which is going to keep our workers going and our payments for at least a couple of days. 12 ounces of gold now. We got quite a lot out of this last bucket. And the last little bit there. What's that going to... That one's not quite so good, I don't think. But it's still 13 ounces of gold. 13.4. Okay, that is fantastic. We've got 13.6, 0.7, 0.8, 9. So we got 14 ounces of gold, ladies and gentlemen. 14 ounces of gold. That is absolutely fantastic. We switch that one off there, and then I can start turning these machines off. Oop, come back that side and put that one there. Right. So we got 14, and we've got $600 left. So I want to just go and switch these generators off very quickly. Then we can get that part bucket of Magnetite, and we can dump that into the Magnetite trailer. I don't think you can just carry the bucket with you and tip it out over the grill. But what I am going to do, in order to see if we can do that, is I'm going to take the bucket in the back of the pickup, and we're going to drive back over there, and we're going to see if we can tip it out. If we can't tip it out just over the grill, then we'll dump it into the Magnetite trailer, and then we'll empty it out of the Magnetite trailer. So we'll just have to use the game mechanic in order to be able to do it. But I'm kind of hoping that we don't need to do that. I'm kind of hoping that we can get round it and do it the other way. So we got 4 ropes in there, plus the miners' mosses and the grills. That one I really hope hasn't spilled all of the stuff that we've got in it. Stop spilling. Okay, there, that's close enough. Right, we jump in, start this bad boy up, and we're away. Okay, so we'll take this one over, and we'll see if we can just tip that bucket upside down over the grill at the factory and earn ourselves, what was it, $700? I think it was 600, well, 600 and something. I can't remember now. There was some in there anyway. And so $700 there, which will be enough to make sure that we can easily get back to town with our 14 ounces of gold. I'm hoping that is going to easily cover all of the wages and everything else we need for the next 2 days, as well as the midnight payment tonight and the midnight payment tomorrow night. So then it'll be the following night that we've got to get back with more gold, by which time we should be doing all right. Now, we could either use some of this cash to bump up the tier 3 stuff and get that over here so that we can start getting that set up, or option 2, we can just sort of hold it for a moment and we can keep working the tier 2 wash plant just for a little while. Right, can I do anything here? No. Right, it doesn't let us do anything there, so what I got to do is I got to bring it over this side, tip that in like that, and that is at 7%. So let's jump the bucket back in there, and then what you got to do is you just come to the back and use. There we go. Did it tell us how much? It doesn't actually give a thing. You can't twist the lever to put it back again. You can't actually physically close the lever. It won't let you do it. Someone pointed out that I didn't do that last time. But yeah, there's not actually an option to be able to do it, unfortunately. Right, we now have $1,200. Take handbrake off. So we're going to head back into town, and we're going to smelt this gold and see what money we can get in total, and see whether or not it is worth moving the tier 3 stuff now or waiting until after we've done another couple of days of mining gold using tier 3 and the smaller excavator, so that we're ready then. We should have a bigger quantity of gold available. I don't know. We'll see which one is going to be the most profitable. Just left the truck back on the corner because I figured it would probably be a little bit easier. And let's see what we get. 14.5 ounces. That's pretty good, I'd say. It's going to cost us $146 to melt the gold. So let's do that. And we now have, what's it say on there? 13.2 ounces is the total amount that we've got. So we did lose 1 point something ounces of gold in order to do the smelt. However, we can now turn this into pure, unadulterated money. Just wonderful, wonderful money. And make us stinking rich, I hope. Right, let's jump over here. And I'm going to hide my gold. What? I just wanted to... Please don't tell me that I have just lost my gold. Now, apparently, it should be able to show up anywhere on the map. And I stashed it there in order so that nobody would find it. But I didn't actually intend for the stashing to involve me never being able to find the gold again. So I'm really hoping that we haven't just lost all of that gold. Please be there. Please be there. Please be okay. Please be okay. What have we got? 1, 2, 1, 5, and it's fine. Whew, okay, breathe a sigh of relief. That is absolutely fine. So we can sell that gold. We now have $17,000. We just come out of... Oh, no, hang on. I just want to see what the loan is at. Right, so it's 41 days left on it, and we've still got $219,000 owing. I wonder if you can actually repay the loan if you get that much money again. Not sure. But anyway, we know that we got another 41 payments to make. So it's going to be a little while before we've finished up with our loan. Moving everything to Old Arnold is going to be, I think it was what? It was about $7,000, was it? Something like that. So we need to decide between now and tomorrow whether or not I do that. Now, unfortunately, because of the way that I need to record these a little bit in advance, I'm not going to be able to wait and see what your comments are. So I'm going to have to try to guess myself. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure at the moment. I will weigh it up. I tell you what, we will just go and see how much it's going to cost us to move everything back to Old Arnold. Because the one thing that we do need to do is we do actually need to move everything. We need to move the tier 3. Even if we just move it into storage and back again, because apparently that cures this whole issue where you're just not getting any gold in there. So we'll see how much it costs. We're going to want the big excavator. Actually, I'm not sure why we would need that. We would want the front end loader, definitely. So if we move that one, and we add everything else in as well, because, oh, of course, we do need this big excavator. The big excavator is the bit that moves everything, isn't it? We've got the shaker, we've got the trommel, and we've got the big excavator. Right, that's $10,000. That's a vast sum of money. I'm a bit concerned about that, actually. Let's just cancel. $10,000 is only going to leave us with 7. So we've got today and tomorrow in order to get that to pay. Ooh. Decisions. Right, I'm going to have a little think about this, and I will be able to let you know in tomorrow's episode. So if you enjoyed this one, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.